Hi, and welcome to another video by Jimthecarguy. Today we have a 2014, it's a Dodge Ram 1500 with a 5.7 liter engine. We're just going to be doing some basic maintenance on this. We're going to be changing the oil and the filter, and then after we do the oil and the filter, we're going to go inside the vehicle and we're going to reset that maintenance reminder light. You know, the one on the dashboard that tells you oil change required or change oil soon. I'm going to show you how to reset that too. This is a fairly easy one, like I was saying, is that you're pretty much just taking the oil drain plug out, which is a 13 millimeter bolt in the oil pan. You're going to use a socket, or you're going to use the box end of a wrench. You're never going to use the open end portion of a wrench or any other device to get it off except the right size socket, because you may strip out that plug. You don't want to strip out a plug. Next thing we're going to do is, after we drain all the oil out, we're going to put the oil plug back in and tighten it up. We're going to clean off everything underneath the bottom there, and then we're going to go up and we're going to take the filter out. This filter is in a tough spot because it's actually, the filter is above the frame, so when you take the filter out, all that oil that comes down from the filter gets all over the frame, and it just washes across everything. So it's a little bit of a mess, so you will need to clean it up a little bit. Make sure you have a suitable bucket to drain that oil into, I might add. All right, I'm going to bring you over. I'm going to show you what tools you need, how to use them, and then we're going to go underneath the vehicle, and we're going to get this job done. Make sure you wear your gloves. You know oil is no good for your skin, so make sure you wear gloves. All right, let me bring you over. I'll show you what we need. Okay, this is an example of what you're going to need. This is what your oil filter looks like. This filter is up in the bottom like this. You're going to use a tool like this. You put it around the filter, and you're going to go counterclockwise to get this off. Remember, counterclockwise to take it off, clockwise to put it back on. So we use this to take that off. If you can't get in there with something like that, they make a tool like this that goes over the top of the filter like this, and then you would use a ratchet such as this to go in there to actually take it off underneath the bottom of it like this, and you would rotate it and take it out like that. So it depends on which one you have and which one you want to use. Next thing we talked about is that, remember, we're going to use a socket. We're going to use a 13 millimeter socket. Use the right socket for it. If you don't have a socket, you're going to use a wrench. Never use the open end portion of a wrench to take that oil drain plug out. Only use the box end of it. So, all right, let's get underneath there and let's get this job done. Okay, now we're underneath the truck, and we're going to do the oil change part of it now. This is your oil drain plug right here. Now remember what we talked about. Open end wrench, you never use the open end part of a wrench, because if you put an open end wrench on here and this is tight, you're going to strip this out. So you do it with either a box end of a wrench like this, and you can break it loose, or what I always use is a ratchet with the correct size socket on it. You just put it on here like this, and you're going to take it counterclockwise to remove it. Make sure you have your suitable bucket underneath to drain the oil into. And then you take your drain plug out, and we'll let it drain out. All right. Okay, while that's draining out, we're just going to let it totally drain out, and then we'll put our drain plug back in, and we'll put this job back together. So we'll just let it drain a bit. once it's finished draining, you put your oil drain plug back in, and you can tighten it up using the wrench or the socket, nice and tight. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just wipe off any residual oil that leaked around in this area. All right, then we'll go up front and I'll show you how to change that, that filter up there. Okay, now we're up in the front, and as you can see, we're on the passenger side of the truck. And as you can see, that filter is in a really tight spot up there. Remember what I was saying about it dripping all over the frame? What happens is it'll run down on here, run all over here. Not only that, it'll actually leak all over the front of the differential up in the front here, and it makes quite a mess. So you want to make sure that you have a suitable container to catch your oil in, and then we're going to take that filter off up there. So all right, let's get started on it. Let's see if I can get you a better shot up there. That's the filter inside there. It's going to make quite a mess. I'll try to show you the best I can. Okay, now, remember we talked about using the right tool up there. Okay, this is the filter wrench that goes on here. Oh, okay, this one we could actually take off by hand, but if you couldn't, you would use that filter wrench. Now, it's going to make a little bit of a mess here. We're just going to let it drain for a little bit. Get some of that oil out of there. What a mess, huh? All right, after it drips a little bit, then we can take it out. As you can see, you can't even get your hand up through here. Now you want to try to hold the filter upright because it's going to leak out oil if you turn it upside down. I'm going to move my light because I need to get my hand up in there. And we'll take it out. As you can see, it's quite messy. go change my gloves and we'll come right back. Okay, now we're going to take our new filter and we're going to screw our new filter back up in there. You want to make sure you put a light bead of oil around on this filter gasket right here. And you screw the filter on by hand, as tight as you can make it by hand. You never use a wrench. You tighten it up as tight as you can by hand. You never use a wrench to tighten it up. Alright? Now we're going to get in here. And we're going to clean everything off with some brake cleaner. So let me clean this up and we'll come right back. Okay, now, we did look it up to see how many quarts of oil this takes. It calls for 7 quarts. So what we're going to do now, we're going to make sure we get the correct oil. Show you. You always want to make sure you get the correct oil. You can see this calls for a 5W20. That's what you're going to use, a 5W20. All right? No matter what anybody tells you, always go by what the manufacturer tells you to put in the vehicle. Now, like I said, we looked it up and we know that this vehicle holds 7 quarts. So we are going to put in 7 quarts of oil. Now this customer brought 2 of these 5-quart containers, so obviously we're not going to use everything. Okay. After you put your oil in, we're going to put that oil cap back on. Now we're going to start the vehicle up. We're going to let it run for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to check the oil level to make sure it's full. we just let it sit for a couple of minutes. We take our dipstick out. Always make sure that it's full. Every dipstick has a minimum and a maximum requirement on the stick. And this is it up here. I know it's kind of difficult for you to see, but it's right in between these two holes right here. As you can see, or maybe you can't see, it's right in between the two marks right there, so we're perfect just where we are. That's 7 quarts. Alright, now before you go any further, make sure your cap is on tight. Look underneath the vehicle, make sure your oil filter is not leaking. And now we're going to go inside the truck and we're going to reset that oil maintenance reminder light. Okay, and now as you can see, that's the oil filter down there, or maybe you can't see. Well, we'll zoom in on it. See it right down there? Make sure that there's no leaks from the oil filter, which in this case you can see is nice and dry. And now we're going to go in the truck and we're going to reset the maintenance reminder light. So, all right, let's continue inside. Okay, now we're in the vehicle. What you're going to do is let me open the door, I'll show you. You're not going to step on the brake pedal. Keep your foot off the brake pedal. You're going to press this button right here and turn the ignition on, and within 5 seconds you step on the accelerator to the floor 3 times within 5 seconds, and that'll reset the maintenance light. So first let me show you what that light looks like.
We think they might be, but on the other hand, labor market seems to be...
Okay. Change oil soon. That's what you want to reset. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to shut your vehicle off, totally off. Everything is off. We're just going to open and close the door so that we're set. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to press this button here, and then we're going to step to the floor 3 times within 5 seconds. I'm going to emphasize, make sure that the vehicle is not running. The truck has to be off. All right, so here we go. Press it. All the lights light up on the dashboard. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll just wait for a minute to reset it. And we're going to shut the truck off. Now we're going to step on the brake pedal and we're going to start it. Did not work, so we're going to do it one more time. We're going to shut the truck off. We're going to turn the lights and everything on. We're going to energize the dashboard. We're not going to start the truck. So no foot on the brake pedal. We're going to press it. Everything lights up. 1, 2, 3.
Related bad debt.
And now we're going to shut it off. And we're going to step on the brake pedal and we're going to start the truck.
Lower earlier on.
And that's it, you're reset. So sometimes it doesn't take the first... Let me shut this truck off. Sometimes it doesn't take the first time. Don't freak out. It's just a matter of redoing it the second time and you'll be all set. All right, so remember, you're not stepping on the brake pedal. You're going to take your foot off the brake pedal. Right? You're not stepping on the brake pedal. Close the door. You're going to come over here to this button here. You're going to turn it so that everything on the dashboard lights up. Not just once, but press it twice. And you see everything lights up. Everything lights up, and then you step 1, 2, 3 to the floor. Within 5 seconds, everything resets. Now, shut the truck off by pressing that button. It turned off. Now you step on the brake pedal with your foot. Press that button, start it.
Retail sales back then.
And that's it. As you can see, it's reset, and now you're all set to go for the next service interval. All right, Any questions or any comments, or you need any advice, send me an email. I'd be more than happy to talk to anybody about anything. As always, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.